first I will be using this Urban Decay All Nighter face primer. I'm going to use it as an eye primer because I don't have an eye primer. So I just kind of use it to prime my eyes before I put on my concealer. And it just keeps my concealer really nice and smooth. I'm just going to dab it. Usually I use a brush for this, but lately I've been using my fingers and I find that the concealer just blends so much smoother. Oh, and I actually have my brows tattooed, so I don't fill them in or anything. All I do is just, I'll show you guys at the end, I just use a brow gel to kind of put them in place, and that's pretty much all I do. Alright, so I am going to use the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. It's super gorgeous. So the brush that I will be using is going to be the Morphe M521 brush, and it's just like a blending brush. So I'm going to go in with the shade Seashell right here, and I'm just going to start like in the middle right here. You guys can see. So you see that? I'm just going to kind of tap this on, and then I'm going to start sweeping it. So, and I'm just sweeping it in the crease area. So if you see your eye right here, you have that you know, folded eyelid, right? But above that is going to be your crease. So you see where I kind of press in the socket right here and it just goes right in. That is the crease right here. And the crease, you just want to kind of blend the product in that crease. And I also like to keep a little bit of product on the outer. And then I'm just going to pick some more of that same color. And then same thing on the other side. Just do what you did. So make sure you kind of tap product just where you want to lay it. And then just go into the crease and swipe back and forth. And then also I like to go a little bit closer into the inner corner right here as well, because it really defines this particular area where it just makes your eyes look more sultry. I want to say sultry, and like just everything just blends really well together. So always remember to kind of bring it in a little bit more. Just make sure that everything is blended in nicely. The shadow that I'm going to apply next is going to be the Nude shade right here, and I'm just using the same brush. So I don't know if you guys can see, but you see that crease right here. It's already really nicely kind of defined a little bit. So that is exactly what you kind of want. Okay. So looks a little messy, but we'll clean everything at the end. And then I'm just gonna repeat on the other side. Okay. And then I'm just going to take that same concealer that I use, and I'm just going to add it to the back of my hand right here. And I am just going in with the Morphe concealer brush in M421. It's just a flat concealer brush. And for this part, you want to make sure that you have like a handy mirror in front of you. I just like to use this one because it's easy for me to use. This palette, I've had it for years, but I like the mirror because it's really easy for me to use. You see how like it's all old and everything, but it's the best mirror. I love it. I love the mirror. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the product onto my brush, and I kind of like to spread it a little bit, so then it just picks up enough. Okay, so you see where my crease is? I just add that to the crease, okay, like that, and then just add a little bit more to the outer. And then what I do is I look up And then you see that? I like my crease to be a little bit bigger and thicker. I'm just gonna create like a false crease, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going higher with the cut crease. And you want to make sure that your crease is rounded out nicely. So what I like to do is I like to do the wing. See that? You see how that darker color that we added in the crease earlier, it naturally created a really nice, you know, that like almost sharp crease. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Just apply your concealer. And then again, just cutting it right over here at the end. Nice and clean. And then I'm gonna go in with this one, which is Swan right here. I'm just gonna tap in the product. You don't want to do any swiping motion. What you want to do is you want to tap the product, because then it really sits on there and it really seals in that concealer. Okay. Tuck in. So the eyeliner that I am going to use is the Too Faced Better Than Sex in deepest black. This is the best like eyeliner ever. You want to make sure that your liner is similar to where that is, but don't connect it. We are gonna go in and clean up the liner as well. I always get really nervous when I do eyeliner because I don't know if I'll mess up. So if you see me struggling, just shh, okay? Just don't say anything. Okay? Honestly, I'm not the best at doing eyeliner. While we are deciding on the glitter or not, I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever eyeliner in the shade NM60. I'm just going to line the lash line so that we don't have any white areas. See that difference? Ooh. Okay. Now the next side, ring finger again. And just be gentle. Alright. See that? See that? I am using the Urban Decay Heavy Metal and Midnight Cowboy. This little beautiful thing. So I like to add it onto my hand. I'm going to go in with the M.A.C 209 brush. It's like a liner brush. Put it where we cut it. So I'm gonna go into the inner corner a little bit. See that? Look how pretty that is. So same thing on the other side. Just add it to where you cut your crease. Look how beautiful. I will be using the same face primer, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter face primer. I will be putting on the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 2W2. This is my favorite foundation, my all-time favorite. I am running out, so I need to get a new one. We are just gonna pop this in and grab the product. And if I need more, I will just add more into sip it. And I just blend it down a little bit. Honestly, I like my foundation a little bit darker than matching it my skin, because when I take photos, it just looks better. Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer in the shade Light Warm. It is a matte concealer. It doesn't move. It is also a transfer proof concealer as well, which is amazing. Every time I went in to try to purchase, so that because I wanted to get a shade match, I was never able to get it because the shade that I was happened to be out like every single time. I was in Malaysia, and we happened to go to one of their malls, and they had a Estee Lauder counter, and I was like, why not I just purchase it from here? And that foundation was actually on sale, I believe, because they were discontinuing it, which sadly was a perfect color for me at that time, because I was super burnt from being in Thailand. Before we flew to Malaysia, I got so sunburned, it was not cute. Anyways, I decided to get it, and that's how I fell in love with it. And then when I came back home, I actually ran out and I just never purchased it again, even though I really liked it. I found out that I was going to Thailand again, and so then I repurchased it, and I'm just like, God, like, how did I ever go out, like another 2 years without using that foundation again? Just so you guys know, I am a dry skin girl. Like, my skin can get very flaky dry, but I like going matte, so that is also a reason why I take really good care of my skin. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the HOOLA bronzer, and this is the Morphe brush. I bought this in a set. It's just an angle brush, and I just like to cut my cheeks, and I just go in gently because we don't want like a super harsh line. And I am just going to here. Next, I am going to take this Anastasia brush. I believe this is from the Modern Renaissance palette, and I am just using this fluffy end. And into the HOOLA bronzer, I am dipping it in. So wherever I have the lines, I am just gonna do it in the part where it doesn't. So get closest to that middle area as much as possible. I am just gently contouring. And then same thing on the other side. Try to get as close as possible to the powder area. Next, I am going to take my big fluffy brush from Sephora collection. It is the Sephora bronzer and the number 80. I'm just gonna wipe off that powder that we had on. I did try to use this brush for bronzer, but I wasn't feeling it, so. And then you see how it's really defined right here. So that is a little bit too crisp for me. So what I like to do is I like to take my beauty blender, the end of it where there was foundation on, I just like to go in and I just lightly dab in and just kind of lighten that bronzing. And I just do the same thing on the other side. And you just want to gently dab. You don't want to swipe or anything like that, because then you're going to swipe the product away, especially since the beauty blender is a little damp. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with my Fix Plus. And I'm just going to spray my face before I do my highlighter and my blush. I'm going to go in with my Milani Strobelight in the shade number 2. So my face, I can still feel that it's a little damp, which is perfectly fine. And I will be going in with the Morphe M421 brush. What I do is I just kind of swipe a little bit, and I just like to literally add it right here. See that? Oh my god. It's so beautiful. And the cheek area right there. My chin. Look at that. And my cupid's bow. And my nose. Next, I am going to go in with my Sephora collection blush and Shame on You, which is the shade number 1. I am just going to add it to the apples of my cheeks, right above where that highlight is. And I am just lightly kind of adding it on there. Before we move on to the lips, I am going to go back into the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. I'm just going to add that right on my lower lash line here. So next I'm going to go in with the Nude shade. So just go in and you can hit closer to the lash line and then bring it down. It's really just up to you, but that's what I like to do. So I like to start on that corner, into the inner corner, and then go lower. Do the same thing to the other side. And go the outer corner into the inner corner. Next, I am going to go into Truffle, which is the darkest shade in this palette. And I am going to go right onto that lash line. See that? You see how it just darkened it? This is the Maybelline Mega Plush Volume Express Mascara. And this is in the shade Very Black. My all-time favorite. So I'm just gonna kind of coat my lashes a little bit on the other side. And the lower lash line. I know I make ugly faces, just ignore it. Next, I am going to go in with my Laura Mercier that I am running out. Natural Lips. I don't think she sells this color anymore, because when I checked at Sephora, they didn't carry it, and I checked online and they don't have it, so I don't think they carry it, so this is the last of it. Crease Melted Matte Liquid Lip in Child Star. I am going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. So gorgeous. Look at that. Can we be any more extra? Next, we are going to do our brows, which is going to be the last step, probably. Let's see. My Patrick Ta brow gel. So this is in the clear shade. I didn't want the dark shade because my brows are already tattooed on and they're dark already, so I am not needing that. My water spray, and I'm just going to mist this. My Anastasia brow is a little dirty because I used it the other day. My brow wax, and I'm just going in and just kind of swooshing it, and then what I am going to do is literally swipe up. I am just adding this. Alright, so now we are done with the brows. I completely forgot to do one more step, so let's go ahead and do that. So I will be taking the highlighter, and I'm taking that same pointy brush, and I am just going to add that right into the inner corner to open up the eyes. Alright, so this is the end of the look. I hope you guys like it. I will be right back to show you guys the finished look with the hair and everything. So I will be right back. Alright, I am back. This is the final look. I just put my hair down, I kind of blow dry a little bit, and then I have this turtleneck top on, and this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comment, leave it down below. And that is all for today. Goodbye, my extraness.